So in this video, we'll be looking at what ranking is, rank function, what does ranking function actually do. That's what basically we'll be looking at in this video. So I'm going to create an empty data frame that we're going to use. I'm going to create a data frame that we're going to use to make use of this ranking. So I'm going to create a data frame. So let me make this a small letter. I'm going to do our df. I'm going to call what our pd down. That's how imported our pandas. I'm going to do what make use of the data frame. So this of your data frame, next I'm going to give it, let me create the column name. I'm going to just create a single column. So I'm going to give it what each. I've explained how to do all these things in my previous video. In case you're interested, just check it out. It's not hard to do. So I'm going to give it the element that requires. I'm going to do 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Let's just make use of this. Let me zoom this a little bit back. Let me add one more, maybe 90 years of age. So I'm going to print out our data, but before I do that, I want to create a new variable that is going to hold our ranked value. So I'm going to do what I'm going to call it ranked. Okay, let me make it ed ranked. So I'm going to set it equals to 1. Since we're interested in this of the age, so I'm going to target this of our age. So I'm going to say our age. I want to rank our age. So I'm going to do the rank. So the normally if you don't set a particular parameter here, which is actually a method, if you don't set it, the method parameter, if you don't set it, it's going to make use of actually what is called the mean. So the average, and you're going to rank it by average. So but let's just set it. It's not necessary, but if you set it, it's your choice. So I can set it to what average. Like I said, default is being set to average. So let's print our data frame on the screen so for us to actually see what we actually got. Okay, so if you run the same program, you should be having this rank. The age 1, since it's the minimum, is being ranked 1. The followed by this 2 is second to it, which is being ranked what 2, and then it's going to rank it accordingly by the highest to the minimum to that of the highest. That's how it's going to rank it. So right now you might think that it's of no use here, like what do we actually make use of this in this particular way? We can say everything was just ranked as if we are just trying to get index. No, but the magic happens here. Let me assume that we start from 0 and then 1 appeared 2 times, and let's assume that 2 also appeared 2 times. In our situation, 1 appeared 2 times and 2 appeared 2 times. So we can decide to set this 0, but it's not a must to set it. So let's actually run and see what actually happens here. Okay, let me drag this up. Okay, let's see what actually happened here. Remember, initially our 1 was ranked 1 and our 2 was ranked 2, but what happened here, because we set this 0, our 0 is now going to be ranked 1, and then we set this 1, our 1 is ranked 2.5. Why did this happen? This happened because we set this of our method to be average. If we didn't set it to be average, it's going to be that of the average, but I just want to set it so we know what to actually deal with. So I'm going to make use of my calculator here to explain what actually happened. Remember, initially this age 0 was actually ranked 1, right? So and this of our age 1 was actually ranked 2, and this of the second age 1 is actually going to be seen as a new value, so it's going to be ranked 3. I remember that we set this of our method to be average. So what actually happens here is as if remember that this 1 is ranked 2 and here is actually 3, so it's going to be 2 plus 3, and then it's going to find the average, which is actually 2 divided by it is going to give us 2.5. That's what we're going to get this 2 point. Remember that here is 1 2 3, and then here is actually ranked 4, and here is actually ranked 5. So this age, all these values of this of our age actually seem as if they're actually just different value, but actually they are the same. Since they are the same, it's going to get the average. Remember, here it was actually around here 1 2 3 4, so it's going to be 4 plus 5 divided by 2 because they are to get the average. So it's going to be 4 divided by 5, and we're going to have so what have I done? It's going to be 4 divided by 5. I'm going to get what is going on to be 4 plus 5 is going to get 9 divided by 2, and we're going to get 4.5. That's what we're actually getting, 4.5. It did the average of the ranked system. So you get to here, what 2 was actually ranked was 4, and what the second 2 was actually ranked was 5. That's why we're able to, when we did the average, we're able to get this 4.5. But to set this to mass, what is actually going to happen? Since here was that, let's assume this one was actually ranked since it was ranked 2, actually here was ranked 3. What is actually going to output here is going to be 3. It's going to take the maximum value, the same value that has the maximum ranked system. So let's actually run this and see example of this. Okay, let's scroll up here. You can see that 0 was actually ranked 1, no problem, and then 1 was actually ranked 3, and 1 was actually ranked 3. Like I've explained earlier, that one here, this one is actually ranked 2, and this one here was actually ranked 3. So the maximum, because we said this to mass, is going to be they are going to inherit or take that of 3, because 3 is the maximum rank system in between the two values. Hope this is not hard to understand. You can set it to what mean, you can set it to average, but most times this mass and mean, they are not actually being used. You can set to setting. Most times average is being the best to actually use. And remember that the use case of this depend on your situation. If you're interested in getting the average, you can make use of it. If you're interested in getting the max, getting the minimum, you might be thinking that, okay, what is the real world scenario? Like I said, you have to do it in a particular scenario. Remember, what we actually do is to analyze our data. There's a situation whereby you want to actually rank your values a particular column due to some particular reasons. You can make use of this one to actually rank it. Remember that this is not the data that we're working with. I just want to give example so we can have idea of how this ranking works. We can apply it on our data in a case if we can make use of our data to apply this ranking system. But I want to make it as simple as possible, because if I make use of our data, yeah, it might be a little bit confusing for some of us to understand. So I think with this we have a little bit of knowledge on how this ranking system works. That's all of other complex way that this ranking system can be used. So I think with this we have come to the end of the video. If you find it useful, that subscribe button won't be a problem for you to click on. So I'll be happy to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.